Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. And welcome to Make It Monday Live on this Tuesday. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome again to Make It Monday Live on this beautiful Tuesday in the Texas Hill Country. Say hello if you're joining me, whether you're live or watching the replay. Good morning, Debbie. Thank you so much. I think I pulled it all together after a few of my deadlines that I had to meet over the last few days. I have been working a lot, so that's why I had to take off yesterday just to get those done. I guess I got a little behind on them, mixed up some dates. But I made all my deadlines. I just thought I had like an extra day for one of them, and I didn't. And then I have two more by the end of the week for two other design teams I'm on. I can feel the frog in my throat. Give me just a minute. All right, got myself a drink of lemonade. All right, so I'm so excited to be creating using the Boho Vibes Suite Collection from the annual catalog because one reason is I've already created a lot of fun stuff with this, and I've really fallen in love with this collection. It is great for travel photos and memories. I'm just going to pull out, maybe, if I can find it. There we go. Some of the goodies that I've already created with this beautiful collection of products. So I think back at the end of December or first part of January, Cindy with the Artisan team, she's our team lead, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to teach for on stage. I was like, yeah, I suppose so. At the time, I was planning on actually attending on stage, and then things didn't work out, so I didn't attend in person. But I taught a 10-minute video. I did a 10-minute video using these collection of products. She sent me the Sunshine Vibes in English and in French and German. Let me see if I can pull it out of here so you can see. So I also have them in French and German. I had to do a card for each language, and the cards were, I think one was called a casual design, and I think the next one was maybe avid casual, and then avid. So kind of stepped up, like from easy to more difficult. I've done a video on these. I've shared these already, but if you haven't seen those, I'll share them real quick for you. So this was the card that I created that was kind of a casual card. I did three different designer series paper They're all the same card, just using different patterns from the DSP. And then this was the more visual, no, casual, casual avid card. So I shared how to create this technique with like watercolor paper and ink pads. And I did 2 designs for that. Good morning, Kim. Oh, excuse me. Maybe I need some more coffee. And then this was my avid card. So I did this one in the French. And I added a flip flap to my card and used the word bravo. And then that was the inside. And I also made an envelope with our two-tone cardstock because this is called a slimline card. It's about 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So lots of fun with that. So those were my required projects. I also have this one that I did. And then I got to create a couple of projects. Sorry. And here was a 12 by 12 scrapbook page that I did with flip flaps, lots of journaling. These were pictures of me growing up. There's my family, my dad, my mom, my uncle, me, and my little brother. And then just through the years, some of our travel adventures. Good morning, Jennifer. And then I also started a little Groovy Dates mini album. It's like I've got it dirty already somehow. And I've only done like 2 pages of Jeff and I. I did this one right here. So I need to work on that. Maybe well, I won't do it this week. I have other things I've got to work on. But how fun is that? So lots of fun and different things that you can do with this collection. And I put together a scrap and create kit for the projects that we'll do this week. So we'll see if I can come up with any new ideas. But I'm going to show you some on this one. I'm going to do some similar things to my other scrapbook page, a different design, but using some of the same pattern papers and stamping and so forth. So it has a really rich color combination. You've got 2 of our 25, 27 in colors, which is Secret Sea and then that cloud cover. Now, the Secret Sea, there was an issue with the ink pad, the classic Stampin' pad. So they discontinued it, but they gave us the option of using the Stampin' ink refill and a little Stampin' spot. So I can fill this up with cloud cover. So we might do that this week so that be able to use that cloud cover ink as well some. But then you've got Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, and Daffodil Delight. I think those are all the colors. Yeah. Well, and there's also Petal Pink in here as well. All right, so I have those handy. I know we're going to use the Daffodil Delight. I'm not sure yet on some of the other. Maybe we can do these little stamps in here too, but I'm going to do the sun for sure. Here's our scrap and create kit so far. I think I have most everything in here. You have your designer series paper. You're going to get 2 sheets of each one this time. So it's got, I'll kind of go through these so you can see the front and the back of these. But I love all these kind of rainbow arches design. This would be great for like Moab, if anybody's been to Moab before with the arches. I have some pictures, actually, some really old pictures from like 2003. And it was actually on a trip up to Salt Lake City, Utah for a close to my heart convention one summer. So that petal pink and Cajun craze would be awesome for that. My hand's not big enough to go all the way. That's the one we're using today, right there. And I think this is the last one. So you'll get all these patterns, and we'll play around with those this week. Maybe we'll have fun on Wednesday, tomorrow, with using like a big combination of them. Maybe I'll do a type of grid or something tomorrow, so we can add a bunch of those in. Now that cloud cover is really pretty. You will get a sheet of that in your designer series paper, I mean your cardstock, by the way. So I've put in all the colored cardstock in there. You've got your 12 by 12 white willow plus a sheet of crumb cake, two-tone cardstock. So we'll use some of that on Wednesday. And then your embellishments. These are the coordinating embellishments, the dots. And then I pulled in some Secret Sea ribbon. And oh, this ribbon's got a really neat texture. It's kind of got a waffle, I guess that's what I think of it, kind of a waffle pattern on it. And its texture is really interesting. All right, so there's your scrap and create kit. Of course, I've already busted into mine to cut. So this is the one that I'm working with. And we'll see if we need to pull anything else in from that as we go. But let's get busy. What is today? Today's the 20, I don't even know what day it is. It's the 24th, isn't it? Yeah. And I I don't have my flyers handy, but just as a reminder, so we just have what, 6 more days for our sweet collection. So this would be a great opportunity to grab the sunshine vibes. I didn't even show y'all so the stamp set has some nice elements. There is lots you can do with this. Of course, it's really geared more for cards, but it's the dies that you gotta have. Those rainbows, that's where the boho vibe kind of came in with the all the fun elements to the dies. So you could get this bundle and then get a second bundle for equal or lesser value at 50% off. So think about that. Maybe you can grab a past bundle from what I've used in the past. Check out my YouTube and see what I've been doing with the different sweet collections and take advantage of that awesome promo. You'll also earn stamping rewards with your order. So to get the Scrap and Create kit, you'll need a $50 order or more, and I'll send you that this week's scrap and create kit for free. All right, so this is going to be a page of my mom and her boyfriend. So my dad passed away back in July of 22. Can't believe it's almost been 3 years. Mom and David went to high school together, but they did not know each other in a high school. Like they even graduated the same year. But one of Mom's good friends, David, was dating her, and she passed away 6 months about after my dad passed away. And then Mom and David connected and found out how much they have in common. And they've been together ever since and do lots of traveling and have so much fun together. So it's just one of those stories about how God brings people together through grief. And I'm so happy for my mom, for the both of them, that they enjoy each other's company so much. So this was a trip to Durango, Colorado that they went on last fall. Has anybody been to Durango? So I went when I was probably about 13, I think. And my parents took my brother and I on this Durango to Silverton train ride. We've got little gnats flying around. Got all kinds of bugs after all the rain we had. And so I remember this. We have photos of me on the train trip too. So Mom took David up there and they spent a couple of days doing that. So I have my title here for Durango. I think it's going to go up here somewhere. I did ask ChatGPT to come up with some title ideas for me using the word Durango. So I haven't printed out journaling or any of those additional little captions, but here are a few. I'll read out a few that it recommended. Could do destination Durango. So I could do like a little print off destination and then Durango, which that might be good because I'm thinking I'm going to put Durango right up in here somewhere. And then I'll show you how I did this in 1 second. There's also like Durango Days, Discovering Durango, Durango by Rail. That might be good. I could do Durango and then a little to Silverton since it's the train ride, kind of. But here, I'll kind of show y'all trying to remember how I did this. So I took this pattern paper. See the front and the back, it's the same pattern paper. So it was 2 sheets, one with that pattern and one with that. I cut it into 3 by 6 inch pieces. So that gave me how many pieces? 4 pieces. So you can I'll just show you what I did here. And then I used 2 of them on that side, 2 of them on this side. Then I took my party banner dies, which I love. I just did a fun project with it yesterday. So you'll have to wait a week or 2 weeks, I think, before you see that. I took the largest one, and on that 3 by 6 piece, I ran it through my die machine like this. So it was only cutting this part right here. I did that on all of them, so it was a full piece just like right there. And then I just trimmed off 3/4 of an inch. So this ends up being about 5 3/8 inches wide. I'm gonna have to smack down that here in a minute. And so I'm gonna I think I'll put this one over here, this up here, and this over here. And I want to start with this. I need to decide how much room I want for probably about right there. I don't know that I'll center it, so let me grab one of these photos. My photos are 4x4 and 4x6. Actually, I could do it. I could have the photos centered right here. So let's go ahead and put the pictures down, and then everything else will come into place pretty easy. Don't think I'll do any distressing. I am going to do some stamping up here. Let me get my adhesive. And what are some of the other, just real quick, Durango Detour, Durango and Beyond, Durango Dreams, Durango Bound, Durango Memories. Then there it also suggested with a bit more flair, Durango Adventures and Route 66 Roads. I won't do that because I'm specifically doing just the Durango to Silverton train trip today. Hey, Charisse. Boho trails through Durango from route, whatever you say, 66 to Durango views, Durango Wanderlust, Durango trails, and timeless tales. I'm kind of liking the destination Durango, so that's probably what I'll end up doing. There we go. That way I'm back to my main screen. So I'm going to go ahead and put these photos down. And I'll just put it in here between the 4 and the 8. So that's right in the center. Then I also cut some Secret C at 4 inches by 3 1/4. And I can put that in between here because I measured it so that it would be the length of these, I think. And I think I'll do the train ride, the train right there. And then that's kind of what my journaling will end up being about. I got these pictures off of Facebook. This is why I scrapbook. My mom and my dad have taken photos of my entire life, literally. Pamela, do you print your own pictures? I do. I print my own pictures using a Canon Pixma, I think is what it's called. Pixma. And my latest one is, let me see if I can read it. I'm trying to see. I think it's TR8620S, maybe? I don't know. I've got my um, bifocal glasses on right now. Anyhow, so from the time I was a baby, and my mom is still taking photos, like everything we did, I mean, not everything we did, but we traveled a lot growing up, but only to Colorado and New Mexico and Texas. We camped, we hiked. So I've been all over Colorado, all over New Mexico, and those are the only places in Texas that I'd ever been until I was married. And then I went to California. So I went through, I guess, Nevada, Arizona, California. And then it wasn't until I was with Close to My Heart that I started traveling to, I've been to Washington, Portland, Oregon. Did I go to Washington? I can't remember if we went to Seattle. I don't think we did. I think I just went to Portland, Oregon. So I was Oregon, not Washington. Been to Washington, D.C., uh, Utah. Okay, so these are 1/4 inch by, let me give you a measurement here, 10 3/4 inches. So that's what the photos plus this 3 1/4 inch piece make. Kind of, you know what? Kind of wanted, should I shouldn't have been talking. Luckily, I can probably just pop those up. I think I want this right here instead. There, that way it just looks kind of uniform. I like that better. With this, with them on the outside kind of going in. Okay, so I think I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So anyways, I was talking about photos and like I literally could scrapbook my whole entire life. I'm not kidding. So I got into scrapbooking because I came across a Creating Keepsakes magazine back in 97 at a Joann's. Neither one of those are around anymore, unfortunately. But I was into cross stitching. I think I was buying cross stitch thread and patterns. And I was standing at the register and looked over, and there was this Creating Keepsakes magazine. Looked interesting, so I picked it up and I was like, I saw the photos and bought it, took it home, and ended up falling in love with scrapbooking. There was a Dots Dozens of Terrific Stamps advertisement on the back, and I looked up a demonstrator, found one in my hometown, just 20 minutes away, and the rest is history. I'm trying to decide if I want to put this down yet. I'll wait for a second. Okay, so this I kind of wanted to, I think I'm going to I could tuck it up underneath, but I didn't want them to be even. So I'm going to cut off like a 1/4 inch right here on that one and this one. And that'll just give a little variation. I'll put that in my scraps because that could work well on a card, possibly at some point. So I can leave that one like that and that. See, it just makes it a little different. So these I'll put down. I know this pattern paper is a little intimidating. It took me a little while when I was prepping for my on stage presentation to finally bring the patterns together that worked well, I guess. So I can do this one now. And I just love these party banner dies. And they are bundled with the party alphabet dies too, so you can actually get them as a bundle. Now that doesn't go with, just FYI, with the sweet collection because the party alphabet and the party banners are not, um what did I do with that piece? Does anybody see what I did with it? Hello. Again, I got my readers on, so did it, I don't know what I did with it. Okay, maybe I'll come across it here in a few minutes. Did anybody see what I did with it? I don't know how it disappeared. I don't think I put it back in there. I may have to cut another one from somewhere. I'll keep working and maybe it'll show up. It didn't get stuck on the back of something, did it? I don't think so. It's looking, oh well. Okay, we'll just figure it out in just a little bit. Because what I want to do next, before I put down my title, is do something similar I did to my other page, which was, let me see if it's going to work. As soon as I figure out what I did with those two. I feel very limited, or I don't know what the word is, wearing my glasses. My contacts were bothering me right before we went live. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do. We'll have a little fun up here. Go up. I don't know. It's kind of driving me crazy now. I did not see it. I didn't see where it went. Ah, okay. Well, I'll cut another one if I can't find. Maybe it's stuck to the back of this. No, I thought maybe it was stuck to my banners I brought over, but so far I don't see it. Oh yeah, it's stuck to something at some point. Okay, well, we'll figure it out in a little bit. All right, so let's play with our, let me find my chamois because I used these a lot. So I'm gonna clean the back of them a little bit and hopefully it'll stick on there pretty good. All right, so we have the, like the half sun, moon. It could be a number of things. I turned it into a, like a sunflower or a flower. All right, so I kind of need to see, let me get my ruler, like where the center of this is. Let me, I guess about right there is the center. Pull it down a little bit. I'm going to get a pencil. Okay, now I am going to have this piece up here, so I've got to do it up at about right at the 9-inch mark. All right, so this is my center. And then get right up at the 9, maybe just a smidge below the 9-inch mark. I can move it back over this way now. All right, pull it down just a little bit, and I'm going to draw a very thin line right here. And then now again, I want to, let me mark the center right there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I think I'm good. And just a real light line. This should be under the strip or right at the strip. See, it's just right underneath the strip. And then let's get the center of that. I'm going to do it this way again. So 3/4 of an inch. It's really about 5/8, I think, on both ends. And then I can just move it up and mark that too. Okay. So all those little pencil marks should be under paper once I'm done. We're going to start with our Daffodil Delight. I'm also going to, let me rearrange a few things here. I'm going to bring in my glass mat because I have a little sway now in my table. So we'll do these. We'll do it like this. Uh-oh, sorry. That's pretty good. We'll do one at a time. And I'm thinking through this because I think we're going to have a scratch. I have some, like a scratch piece of paper right there. So we get like I think, a half sun. And I'm probably going to have to stand up and we'll see if I get my head in the shot. All right, so we're going to go along. Let me look at my sample. I'm going to do one about here. And I'm not measuring exactly. That might be too close. I'm going to wait and do this one, the last one. Oops. Y'all can see my crazy hair. And then we're going to take our raise. You don't want to do it up here like that. You'll start this way. And then you'll turn it and do this way. Okay? Same thing right here. And we're just creating a sunburst border, I guess we would call it. And now Durango is going to go over top of this one a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to, I think it'll be right about a quarter of it. So this one, let's do it. We'll do, or half of it. Yeah. And then I'm just going to move this over here so I don't get it on my Versamat. Okay. And let me clean my block off a little bit. It's probably stuck to the back of something. It'd be nice if I'd find it before having to cut another one, but okay. All right, so you may be asking, why did I stop it right here? And I did because I'm using 11-inch, actually it's 10 3/4 inch, but I just decided to stop my design right there, just for something different. All right, so then this one I can put right here. I can go ahead and put this down, and then we'll do the other side. Just line it up right there. Let me see if I think that one goes up here. Guess I need to look for this look too. Okay, so there's that one. Now let's bring in, I'll look on, there's that. Okay, that one just flew right there, so I know where it's at. And I'm going to, maybe I got it picked up on the back of my pages when I shared them or something. I'm looking to see if that was a possibility. It doesn't look like it. I have a lot of scraps from my previous workshop or my presentation. So I'm going to pull those out and we'll look through that for a piece that might work here in a few minutes. Because I really just have no idea where it disappeared to. Okay. Still keeping my eye out for it though. All right, so this one will end up going there. So I don't know that it's cut's a little rough. Okay, now let's do the exact same thing. I'm just trying to clean up my stamps a little bit. I have to stand up to do this. So there's that one. Since I know I'm going to do half, now I can go ahead and do this right here. And that'll actually make it a little bit easier to position that one. And again, I'm just eyeballing that. Just have to make room. Just half of it there. And then this one. Okay, that's pretty good. So this would make a pretty sunflower too. And you could do this also so that it would be like a full circle. You might have a little line right down the center if the ink overlaps, but it's just fun. So think outside the box. Of course, it could be a moon as well. You could do the phases of the moon. All right, I think that's it. Clean up my mess. Y'all get a good view of my crazy hair today. And it is pretty crazy today. Eh, yeah, I guess it's not too bad. Let's see. If I put things away and move some things around, I'm keeping my eye out for the missing piece, but I think I'm fixing to have to find a new piece. All right, so there's that. Because I think I'm gonna give up on trying to find it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece down. Okay, that's good. Sometimes my papers fall between the table right here, but I don't see it. It's kind of, all right, so we're gonna dig out another piece. We might do a little bit more stamping. I'm not sure yet. All right, so we'll go in like that. Is anyone else having problems on Facebook? Looks like everybody's on YouTube. Oh, Sharice is on Facebook. Okay, so we need that piece. So let's do a little bit. I don't think I dropped those two skinny pieces. Remember, I cut those. I don't, that's all I see in my scraps. So we'll look through. Let me just look at my little pile right here, see if anything blew over here. I've got my fan on, but I don't see anything. Okay, I just don't know. It just flew away, it looks like. So I've got, these are all my pieces I had left over from my presentation. And I'm not sure if I have a piece like that. So pretty sure I don't have any full pieces of that left, that pattern. I'm looking. Nope, not of that one. Let's see what I have of here. I see that, but I don't think it's cut the right way. But I can just make it work. There are a few. Let me see. I'm kind of surprised I have that much. All right. So let's look at those and see how we can make those work, if any of them. And it doesn't have to line up just like this was necessarily. I think all the patterns are going the opposite way. Yeah, so I'm just not going to worry about it matching up. You can't really tell. You'd have to look real close to see that it matches like that. I think all these are pretty much the exact same cut, except for that one. Just going to see if I can find one that might. Not really. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Okay, so we just need a, y'all, because I put tape on it. Oh, good night. There we go. Ta-da! I found it. Okay, let me get my, clean up my pieces a little bit. All right, so there we have that. Now let's do our title. Let's see where that needs to go on here. Durango. I don't think I'm gonna pop it up just because that'll take a while to do that. There's my, I cleaned up my space last night after the chaos of the weekend. Uh, so we'll start over here. Well, I do kind of want to find out if, because I think if I spread it out, it's going to go way over here. So we're going to put the O down and the D, and then we'll arrange our letters kind of tight in here. Maybe I'll do them up a little bit higher so you'll see the sun. I'll bring it in just a smidge. All right, and let's see how we kind of have to. So when I have to overlap them a little bit, I'll usually go like up and down, up and down. I think I'll do that. Maybe just a smidge, not all the way down to it, but they just have to all be touching a little bit, I think. I'm not sure. That'll go up just a tiny bit. Down, up, down. Just gonna barely put that down. One's gonna go down, this one's gonna be up a little bit. And that'll be just barely touching right in the middle. All right, I think that'll work. Durango. And then I might do a little destination Durango. I still haven't decided fully on that. All right, some of the other, let me see. Oh, that's where it was. I was like, where did the hearts go? I was looking at some of the other embellishments I did with on my other pages. So I may copy that, just a few of those elements. So we brought in a little bit of crumb cake. I'm gonna grab my crumb cake stamping blends, and we might do a little bit of splattering. And then I want a few hearts. And I don't know. See, so we've got our main title here. We could bring something. I'm going to do some hearts and some little thing right up here, which, and then if we did something maybe right in here, we could do something over here. So just like three little clusters of something. My journaling, I'll probably leave to put like right down in here. It'll just be a couple of little strips, I think. So I want to do some of these in Secret C. So let's do a little bit of die cutting. Let me grab my scraps. Let me put those away. So I'll bring in this. That goes to my other scraps. Already cut a little bit on this. So I think we should do one rainbow. I'm not sure that I'll just do the hearts right now in the Secret C. They're so cute. I'm going to do this 3 times total. Just, excuse me. When I feel it go all the way through, I just reverse it so I don't have to run the plates all the way through. These will go down here, possibly, and then 3 for the other side of the page. The Secret C it's fun to bring in all the different colors from this pattern right here. That'll go on the opposite page. Okay, so there are my hearts. Now, I don't think I'll do any more of the Secret C. Let me find my stash of goodies here. And we'll just walk through the pieces and grab some scraps of the rest of these colors I have in here. Can do that. I think all these, we'll do a little bit of all of these. And we'll create a one full rainbow. So this one, we'll start with this out here. I think we'll be okay. So this does take a little time just to cut all these individual pieces. I'm gonna go in the order that. Now I have 8.5 by 11 pieces in here, but I have to cut these down. So I'm gonna cut them down to 8.5 by 5.5 over here off camera, just so I don't have to move everything. All right, so I've got this. And just line them up on here so it takes the least amount of space on your cardstock. Because we may need mats or something later on Wednesday, tomorrow. Okay, and then now there's these pieces. These elements can just be used like with the if you made flowers. Okay, and you'll see what I'm doing here, I hope. Are y'all feeling that boho vibe with the rainbow? Again, I'm cutting another piece at just 5.5 by 8.5. Putting the other scrap in my stash. So that might can be used for cards on Friday. I was thinking on Friday I would show y'all how to make that flip flap card. I probably won't do a slimline card, but I can show how to do the flip flap portion. This one I think is on, we'll do Cajun Craze. So you may want to do a search for just the Sunshine Vibes bundle on Pinterest to see some fun other color combinations using this collection, this bundle. And then we'll do this one. Our other color we need is a little bit of cloud cover. And then that may be all we need. And we can just build up like two little clusters and then this one big cluster with the rainbow. All right. And I might want to grab, I'll do some basic white as well. Because you can actually build your rainbow on a base which would be this piece right here. So you can actually do this rainbow in all different colors. It'll cut different individual strips. And then this is like a base, just to layer everything down on, and it'll help it pop off the page here too. Okay, my plates aren't in line, so they're not wanting to go. Let's see if that works. There we go. So this will work for either this or these. And then I'll show you, I'll just talk you through a little trick that I did on my presentation, on stage presentation pages here in a minute, on a few different ways you can make the rainbows as well. Okay. Put the things back where they belong. All right, so I think we're good there. I think I want this stamp. So I need my mini block. I think I'll do Cajun Craze. Um, Actually, instead of Cajun Craze, we'll put that together here in a minute, and then these go over here. Let's do, okay, so I'm staying somewhat safe. I'm going to move that over here. And since I haven't actually done this yet, let's play with some of our cloud cover. So I'm just going to ink this up. I guess I just need to keep inking it until I can see it saturated all the way through there. So give me a minute. All right, I'm gonna say that's probably pretty close. Let me put a bit more right over in here. All right, yay! Now I have a cloud cover ink pad. And we're going to do this. I probably should test it out first. So let's just do it right here. Yeek. It's like really juicy. Maybe I overdid it a little bit. Tap it a little bit lighter. So I'm glad I tested it. I'll clean my block a little bit. And you really be careful. Okay, that one will probably work. So I'm gonna put this, hope it works right there. Yeah, it's okay. I didn't know if I got ink all the way. 1 second. Trying to make sure I get ink on all the little fingers or whatever. All right, so if it's over here, then probably right in here, I'm going to put, yeah, I'm not super happy with it, but it'll work because we'll have to let that sit. I bet it's better after it sits a bit. I'll put some of these over top of the little area that didn't stamp good. I'm going to bring out my tweezers. And I'll put that one just overlapping that a little bit right there. And we'll just, that one will go over here, maybe down here. Just do a little cluster. And we'll bring in some dots in a minute. This one, same thing. I'm gonna put it right there. So I might save these and I can cut one, or like these two look pretty good. I think it was just way too juicy. And then let's build up, we'll use this to build up our rainbow that I think we'll just put right down here. I think I'm just going to, so it doesn't get too messy, I'm just going to use my adhesive like this. And then these are next. Don't know if I'm starting to think about the ribbon. And if I want any ribbon on this page or not. I might could have some tucking out of this a little bit and then maybe over here do something. And then this is your next one. Daffodil Delight. That was Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink. So you could do like more of a monotone, monotone um, rainbow or more colorful rainbow. And they're kind of flexible, so you can kind of shape them into where you need them to go. And then this reminds me of a horseshoe. All right, look how cute that is. And I think I'll put it right down in here somewhere. I don't think there's any, it says Durango and Silverton right there, so I'm gonna pop that up. Scissors, scissors. There they are. Trying to decide if I'm gonna be satisfied with just this one rainbow. So I might do some smaller rainbows off camera. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in 1 second. You didn't catch it on my on stage projects. We got to add a few dots. Let me pull it down just a little bit. There we go. And let's see where I want these, I think, right down in here. So maybe let's see if I can do one more of these and not totally mess it up. They're kind of watercolory looking. And so I want to bring in some mossy meadow dots. And these are my choices. I didn't do any splattering. Let me do a little bit of that real quick. I'm going to take that just to cover up that part. This will add a little bit more color and texture. And I think I'll cover up my same thing like right here. So there, that just kind of highlights that a little bit more. Adds to your cluster. And let's look at this ribbon possibly. I know I want to do that and maybe the petal pink because we've got all the other colors. Don't have any Cajun craze over here, but unless I end up doing one more little rainbow, I might can do that. Like just this part. So what I did is you could build up the same rainbow, but then just cut it like right up in here, like leave these two off, just build it up here, and then cut around that where you have a smaller rainbow. I'll show you a sample here in a second. Okay, so there's our mossy meadow. Let me think I'll do, let me see, that there. And I think I'll do a little one. Got a lot of that on the end. Putty. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Might bring in one more color. What do I have? Maybe the yellow. A little one. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let's come down here. I covered up the middle of that one, so I won't put one right in the center, but let's do a big one. And a little. So we got that one already. Let's do, and a yellow one. All right, I think, let me show you the ribbon, but I don't think I'm gonna put ribbon. Look at this texture. Wish you could feel it. It feels, it's soft, but it's kind of stiff too. I just like it. I'm just wondering if, so I really think I'm gonna put another one of those over here, possibly. Since it's big, we've got our cluster, maybe one little rainbow. Like, let me show you if I have, must be on my second page. Yeah, on these right here. See, I can make one of those to put right over here. It can go over the sun. Maybe I'll do it right over here so it's not on the center sun. I think I need to get another blue to put a little heart under there too. Okay, I think I'm done for now. The ribbon, I don't think I can really incorporate it in here anywhere. It could have been a layer in here somewhere, but I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll keep it like it is. We'll incorporate ribbon. Maybe we'll do like a tag or something um, tomorrow. I'll have my journaling right down in this area. I am going to add one more. So when you see the finished page, I'm going to have like the three right here to go right over in here somewhere. I might cover up that right in here. And I think that's it. Unless y'all have any other suggestions, I think that's what's going to happen. I just had an idea on this real quick. And maybe this will just add a little something. So instead of that like dark ribbon on this one, what if we did some linen thread, because it looks so pretty with this collection of products. If I do a bow, I'm going to do a bow in here instead of another heart. And that just brings in a little more texture and pizzazz. I can just stick it like right here. All right, I like that. And then I might do a little bit up here too. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to do anything more. I'm sure there's lots more I could do. I know. That's why I did my 70s photos, my old photos on this one. So some similar ideas and patterns on this one. Sorry to jump around so much. But see, I actually had a rainbow behind here. Then there was a little bit smaller rainbow and even a smaller one. So lots of fun. Join me on Wednesday, tomorrow, since I got off track already this week, for my 12 by 12 scrapbook page for story and sketch. So I'll have a new sketch. We've got our color combo going on. I'll come up with a chat GPT will help me with a fun name. And then um, we'll, so I'm thinking maybe tags, pockets, and a grid. That'll be the squares will work really good, and we can get lots more pattern papers onto our page tomorrow, and maybe some hidden journaling, and we can use the ribbon on that. So all right, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for your grace for missing yesterday and for coming and joining me today on this Tuesday for Make It Monday Live. So y'all have a great week if I don't see y'all. And I was just looking. Did Rhonda really? I didn't see that. Look on the back of your trimmer. She was paying attention. Oh, goodness. That's funny. All right. So if you missed it in the middle of this, yeah, I lost a piece of paper and it got stuck to the back of my trimmer. Rhonda was on point. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. God bless you all. Bye bye.